So every August, Texas releases its A through F school ratings. Schools are declared winners and losers. The headlines burn across newspapers all over the state, and nobody stops to ask an important question. Should we trust these grades in the first place? Here are 10 reasons why Texans should be skeptical. Number 10, A through F scores incentivize teaching to the test. When a school's reputation depends on one testing system, schools devote time and energy to preparing for that test. Research shows that high stakes tests narrow the curriculum. The system backs people into a corner and they react the only way they know how. Number 9, they distract from what really matters. Schools exist to develop human beings, their full potential, not just test takers. Are students healthier at the end of the school year, kinder, more resilient? Are they better citizens, more confident? If we measure what we treasure, how come we aren't measuring those things? Number 8, they oversimplify a complex reality, taking thousands of students, hundreds of educators, dozens of school subjects, and one full year of work and learning and compressing all of that into a single letter grade. That's absurdly reductive. Number 7, they are often incorrect. The schools doing the best work are not always the schools receiving A's. Some campuses produce extraordinary results in situations where students face tremendous obstacles. Others inherit every imaginable advantage. Those are not the same accomplishment. Number 6, these A through F scores reflect poverty, not just school performance. When the Texas Education Agency introduced the A through F system, the commissioner said the results, the A through F scores, are not strongly correlated to poverty. Notice that word strongly, it's doing a lot of work there. TEA reports a correlation between A through F grades of schools and student poverty levels at that school as a 0.4, which it calls moderate. Here's what moderate looks like in practice. 82% of the wealthiest schools earned an A. Only 9% of the poorest schools did. In the social sciences, statistician Jacob Cohen described 0.3 as a medium effect and 0.5 as a large effect. So 0.4 is the largest effect you can get without it being a large effect size. It's almost like TEA set this up to be the biggest moderate effect you could get, but you didn't have to call it a strong effect. It's right on the door of strong. The next one, we don't judge anything else by these A through F grades. Not police stations, not hospitals, not libraries, not city parks. Why do we only do this to schools? We don't give a hospital an F because it treats the sickest patients in the trauma unit, but that's exactly what we do to high poverty school systems. Number 4, they are political propaganda. A failing grade creates a crisis creates demand for political action. That's why school ratings so often become talking points and political ammunition instead of just careful evaluations of student learning that schools can respond to. And that leads to number 3. Number 3, they have been used to sell school vouchers. First, you convince the public that their neighborhood schools are failing, and then you offer privatization as the solution. It's impossible to ignore how often A through F ratings are used as obvious evidence that sweeping changes are necessary because of our failing public schools, quote unquote. It's worth asking why schools that receive voucher dollars are exempt from A through F scores and exempt from STAR tests. They get the same dollars as public schools. They get $1 billion of taxpayer money in Texas. Are voucher proponents afraid their schools won't stack up well on the A through F ratings? Number 2, the people promoting A through F grades have agendas other than improving public education. Wealthy political donors and the advocacy organizations that they financially support have spent in Texas more than $100 million promoting school choice policies and candidates. Supporters say they're expanding educational opportunity, but now that vouchers are in place in Texas, we see that kids aren't leaving public schools to go. They are paying the tuition of kids that were already in private schools by and large. But it's easier to get that bill passed if people believe the public schools are failing. A simple A through F system can create the appearance of widespread crisis. The A through F black box can be adjusted and manipulated to make sure we have the right number of schools failing to create a crisis. Or if we need a miracle, we can adjust the metrics and get that too. And the number one reason that A through F ratings are dangerous, it is unethical to weaponize a child's test performance for political purposes. Texas parents have watched accountability systems change again and again and again. The cut scores move, the formulas change, the indicators come and go, deadlines shift, lawsuits follow. If the measuring stick keeps changing with the wind, how can anyone have confidence that the measurement is reliable? Any system where the organization that creates the rules, measures performance, and assigns consequences, but is itself not subject to accountability at all, deserves scrutiny from the public because it's not getting any from the legislature. Bottom line, I'm not arguing against accountability. I'm arguing for trustworthy accountability, accountability that is honest about the context in which it operates. We should expect excellence from our public schools and our private schools too, for that matter, but we should also demand honest and transparent measurement, not political theater, from state legislators and state agencies. High standards, fair accountability. That's the conversation Texans should be having as we sort through the upcoming A through F grades.